Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new railway video from North Yorkshire coast. We're on the Whitby to Loftus railway, opened in 1883 and closed a little earlier than a lot of railways in 1958. And you should have recently seen a video of the 250-yard long Kettleness Tunnel. Well, it's got a larger and longer sister known as Sandsend Tunnel, around about a mile in length. And it's renowned to be a pretty tricky one to get into. So we're following the track bed south. Kettleness is about a 5-minute walk in that direction. I'll show you our route going forward. Quite excited about this because if it is an opportunity to get in without forcing our way in, we're going to take it. Let's push on this track bed and see what is down here. So, Sandsend Tunnel, 1,652 yards in length. That is just shy of a mile at 0.94. And it has 5 air shafts which are all capped in 1958, which is when the tunnel closed. And it did in fact open in 1883. You can see Whitby just down here. You can see Kettleness Tunnel, which is a heck of a lot shorter at 308 yards. That is where we visited in the previous video. And you've got Sandsend Tunnel just here. I'm going to zoom right in, and Kettleness Station was just up there, Kettleness Tunnel just below, and Sandsend Tunnel right down here, a very long section of the cliff edge. Now I touched upon this in a previous video. You can see in the bottom left corner Sandsend Tunnel on this map dating from around about 1886, and on this area just here again is where the former line was going to run before the construction companies ran into liquidation and it was deemed too dangerous as the line and the route kept crumbling into the sea below. So that is something I want to go back and take a look at. The original planned route did in fact have parts already constructed before abandoned. And if you've not seen the video of Kettleness Tunnel, this is what it looks like. Get yourself and have a look at that after you've watched this one. I'll put a link in the end as well. Okay, we found the portal of our Sandsend Tunnel. This is remarkable. From what I can see, I think there's a chance we're going inside. I'm going to turn you around and we'll get over this mound. Some old sleepers there, look, uses a retaining wall. And there's the portal. It's quite a strange one. It's like staggered. There's a big chunk there, then it goes in and the rest of the portal goes over the top. And look at this weird, peculiar piece of rail. Enough of that. Let's go and have a look, see if we can get inside. It's quite remarkable how far down we actually are. Portal, very steep cliffs, and goodness knows what all manner of gubbins is actually up there. We'll have to look at the maps and see what course this tunnel makes before we go inside. On a side note, in the portal as well, look, you can see there's another old piece of rail complete with what looked like fish blades just there, holding the two pieces together, curving over and supporting the portal. Look, it's wide open. Let's get the torch out and give it a good light up. It's almost like it's a jungle, like you're in the Amazon somewhere. So it is quite misty inside this one. Very crunchy on the ground as well. A red brick refuge on the left hand side. There's a few spiders' nests in there as well, so that's a little bit creepy. And that's the view going forward. You can see the red brick and the grey stonework straight afterwards, exactly the same on the other side, and also a stone roof too. Seems as if we're going on a downward gradient as well. Numerous sleeper indentations in the track bed just there, look. On both sides you can make them out from where the track spanned across with both rails on either side. We've got the next recess or refuge coming up on the left hand side, look. A mixture of stone and natural stone. Stone blocks and natural stone. And going forward you can still see those sleeper indentations if I lower the beam down. There you go, look. On both sides. There's an old pit down here. It's full of cans from goodness knows how many decades. Aerosols and bean tins. And energy drinks. Whether it was drainage, it must have been, although I can't see any evidence of any pipe work down there. There's even a mackerel can down there. It just seems so narrow, this tunnel does, as I walk my way down. These steep indentations are very, very pronounced. They're very deep, look. Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? They're the deepest we've seen yet. On a bit of a camber as well, look. Now we've suddenly gone back to an old red brick. The sleeper indentations are probably the deepest that we've seen them, and we've got the refuge on the right hand side. But there's something more significant coming right up, and there's a lot of collapsed brick and stone on the floor. And that's because we've got ourselves a shaft, and I think I'm going to get very wet. Oh, goodness me. It's capped off, look. I didn't expect to find that. And it just looks like wooden planks on top, like an old wishing well. Can you hear my voice reverberating? Oh, yeah. That's lovely, isn't it? So the shaft isn't that far behind us. We've got another refuge, and we're going to go onto a very, very long straight section. I don't think this camera's really going to do it justice, so I'll change to the other one and light it up better for you. So this confirms there definitely are drainage channels. There's a little trickle of water going through it, and the beam there is showing you a little hole. There's a concrete or red brick sort of pipe there, and it's just there as well. There was one of these we passed earlier before the shaft, and it did have a cover on it, so I couldn't really show you. So it's all about to change. So we've got these sleeper indentations. Now there's another drain there, look, but that is scary as hell, because that is just, look at that. If you stood in that, I think you'd be dropping down a couple of feet in gunge. You've got all this copper-like residue on the ground. Another refuge just there, look. But it looks as if we stay to the left, we should be fine. Reminds me a bit of Harecastle Tunnel near Stoke-on-Trent. There was a lot of this copper gunge in there. Oh, not nice. Okay, we roughly think we're about halfway through. And we've got our second shaft, and this looks absolutely, oh, goodness me. Right, there's going to be drops all over the screen. That looks a lot taller than the other one. I'm getting absolutely soaked, but it's all in the name of entertainment, isn't it? No, it's coming out there. It's almost like it's a drain pipe of some sort, look, 'cause it's not really been raining up there for a few days. That's brilliant. Anyway, more interesting. Right next to that, look, it's not a refuge, it's an adit. And it's one that we're not going in, because that is a boggy old mess. I'm just going to step inside a metre or so and light it up so you can see inside. Look at those wooden beams. I mean, it's probably as safe as you like, to be fair. It's stood the test of time all this time, but it's this clay-like copper on the ground that's just going to be far too difficult and boggy. It's just not worth it. Right, we found the third shaft, and it looks about as tall as the first one, and it's like a tin corrugated top to it, and my voice again is reverberating, which is quite annoying. Down here, look at this, I've got an old section of rail, but there's not just one, there's another piece just here, and another piece just there. And all the water we've been following down, it just disappears down this great big hole, which is probably, there's an old cable carrier there, look, right above it, discharging itself out onto the cliff. Another drain here, look, absolutely full of water, silted up at the bottom. I'd say that's about a metre deep or around 3 foot, and the water is overflowing out of it, look. Okay, we've got ourselves another side tunnel. Add it, look, and you can just see a pin of light in the centre of the screen. If I take the torch away, look, there you go, you see it? That's where it goes out onto the cliff edge, and it's these wooden beams, a lot of them have collapsed and like splintered out. It's very, very messy. I mean, there's a plank over there. Oh, actually, I think I'm just gonna go so far, get you a little bit closer, and you can see it a little bit better. We can look above, look at those wooden planks. We'll do it a bit better than that. There we go. Look at that up there, supporting what is above. Like the copper residue down there again. I'm getting a wet foot. And there's a couple of old fish plates just here as well, look, and they're bolts. Richard's being a little bit braver, look at him. Indiana Jones. Now we've come so far in, look, and you can see where they've splintered, and Gether Wake was the rock and the stone, and all the soil and earth is pushing it outwards. The other side's fine. You can see down there that copper residue again, which is going to prevent us going any further. It looks very, very deep indeed. Turn the torch off again, you can see that pin of light in the centre, look. I'd say that, I think that's going to be a good quarter of a mile away maybe. Yeah. It's very, very long. Piece of old rail just there, look. See if I can brighten it up a little bit, there we go. And can you hear that water? There's a drain down there, but it's another shaft, and it's probably the wettest one we've had so far. So this recess is absolutely disintegrating. This refuge has seen much better days. And look at it, it's all crumbled on the floor. But there's something a heck of a lot more freakier for us to look at. Because on the ground we've got all of this, and I'm not sure how well the GoPro is going to pick it up, but you can see where it's come from. Look, it's all collapsed and fallen down from the curve of the arch above. It's disintegrating right above us. Right, so this might be the most alarming thing I've seen in here. This crack coming down here all the way to the bottom. It's a huge bulge, you can see it sticking out, look. I'm going to attempt to get the other torch on that and see if we can actually show that up a little bit better. You can really see it protruding out now, so if I follow the crack down, it curves around. Look at that, if I go past it, and in fact look just here, you can see where these great big chunks that's just popped off. That's getting ready, that is. Look at this one at the bottom. That's on its way. That ain't got long left in that, I don't think. And further along, look, as we just go past that bulge, you can see even more collapse. And this one as well, look at that. I've never seen. Look, we can even look behind. That's crazy, isn't it? And the next refuge is a bit of a wreck as well. You can just see the pillar lights showing the portal. We're probably about 300 yards away, and I think that's probably where I'm going to talk to you next if we don't see anything else, because it's pretty straight from here on in. So this is another shaft. I believe it's the 5th one. You can just see it up there, and it's wooden planked on top, and I can see pins of light as well coming through it, so wherever that comes out, there's no buildings apparent on top. So here we are at the other end, look, and it is gated and sealed shut. So I've jumped up here, and you can see there is actually quite a nice path which leads up to the portal, which is quite extraordinary. About another 20 metres up, and the path looks like it's even surfaced. So whether it shoots off in another direction somewhere, and we just heard some people talking, so there must be a path. So the little village of Sandsend, where there also used to be a wooden viaduct, was a short way further up there. So that's it at the other end. No, we didn't do that. That's wrong, because this is the way we went in. That's it. We've come out the way we went in at Sandsend Tunnel. That was very, very long. 5 shafts, 2 adits, and a very, very reinforced portal at the other end that you can't get in and you can't get out. That's brilliant. It's one I didn't think I'd get in. Kettleness, I thought likely. This one, not. What do you think to it?
Interesting.
Yeah? Bit of a... I see you're stood under the famous Whitby whalebones there.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, brilliant. That's a proper tourist attraction of Sandsend Tunnel. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and suggestions. Bang them down there. See you again. Bye-bye.